Howdy folks, today it's time to winterize. Alright, so today we're winterizing the camper. So I'm going to be making a cheat sheet for future winterizing. So I got a marker and a piece of paper here. I also have the manual. Sometimes it's kind of a pain to go through the manual. I'm pretty sure I made one of these last year. Where I put it, I don't remember. But anyhow, we're going to walk through this. So I got my 2 gallons of antifreeze over here. This is what I'm using. I've used it since we owned the thing, and it's been fine. I know sometimes you could blow out the lines and all that. You can do whatever you want. But this works just fine. Okay, so I removed these panels, one for the water pump and another one to expose the back of the water heater. So first step here is to avoid getting antifreeze inside the water heater. I need to bypass by shutting that white valve off right there, and then that black valve, and that's gonna, right now the water comes in from the bottom, heats up and goes out this way. By closing these 2 valves, the water is gonna circulate just here, and that's going to eliminate any water coming in or out these 2 lines. Very important not to get antifreeze inside there. So this white one goes downward, and this black one goes upward. So now that is bypassed. Oops. Okay, this is the hot water heater panel on the exterior. We're just going to open this right up. All right. Now you see that white plug right here. That is a 15/16 socket. That's about the only thing I could fit on there. Pliers, it's too tight in there for anything else, and you're going to want to use a 16-point socket, not an 8-point, just because of the angle with this pipe being in the way. So with a 16-point, it's a little easier to sneak in there. Now you see I'm on there. It's just a plastic plug and it's not very tight. Yeah, I'm using a 1/2-inch drive only because I don't have a 15/16 socket in a 3/8 drive. And you can see where my hand is. I'm just right here. So when you go back to tighten this thing, you don't want to crush that. All right, let me put my socket down for a second. Now, we have this pressure release. You want to open this thing just like that. Okay, I don't know if you could see that. So I just got that open, so it's going to help this drain a little bit faster. Now I'm just gonna loosen this a little bit more. Whoops, sorry, a little tough to hold the camera and do this at the same time here. Oops, stand by. All right, I had to put the phone down for a second just because it was getting a little cumbersome. All right, so I just have the extension on here with the plug. Now, this is just gonna start shooting water out of here. So here we go. So I just got the, all right, here we go. Don't want to get soaked. And don't lose the plug either. So I forget how many gallons this is. I can double check. It's like 8 or, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 8 or 10 gallons. You're just gonna let that completely drain. Now when we parked the camper, we already leveled it, so I didn't have to worry about that. So now, make sure you don't misplace your plug. I just put it right here temporarily. But I'm gonna leave this open until I'm done winterizing the whole camper, because as I go in and out, you know, we'll be moving the camper a little, and more of this water will drip out. So you wanna get as much out as possible. At this point, you can also close the pressure relief. That ain't gonna make a difference now. So let's get on to the next step. Okay, so behind this little panel here, which is down low on the floor, is my, and it's gonna be a little bit hard to see because I don't have, you know what, hold on. This is my low point drain valve. Now we had already opened the drain valve beneath the camper when we left our last campsite, so it was draining all the way home. But I'm going to open these two. Now I had already opened all the faucets on all the sinks, on the outside shower, the bathtub, and shower inside too. I also already bypassed the water heater, which we know, and drained the water heater. So now I'm going to open these two little valves. Hopefully we can see this. We'll try. I give these YouTubers a lot of credit. They're practically making little movies. These little babies just pop up at some point. There we go. I kind of lift up as I turn. All right, those are open now. Hopefully, yeah, you can see that. All right. Okay. Now with the pump on, I'm gonna flush this until water stops flowing. All right, there's no water coming out. We are good. Okay, now I just gotta reclose these two valves that I showed you how we opened them before. I also have to shut all of the valves, the faucet valves on the sink, bathroom sink, bathtub, and outside shower. This is the water pump. Now you can see, I'm going to try and get in position here. I have this line already plugged in. Okay, so what I have to do is close this black valve. I'm trying to hold this camera here because I gotta reach down here. I'm gonna close this valve. All right, so you can see it's a it's a quarter turn. And now taking the cap off of this antifreeze, and what I usually do is I sit this bottle right there, and I'm gonna pop. All right, hold on, that was messy. All right, so I pop that little top out, and now you insert this hose in here. All right, and what's going to happen is as I work the water pump, it's going to draw the antifreeze into the system, and you got to pay attention to this bottle because it will empty, and I'll need like a second bottle. It takes like 1.5 gallons, maybe a little bit more than that, roughly. All right, so water pump goes on, and that's going to draw some antifreeze into the system. Remember, we drained it, so there's no water in there. So that's going to stop as soon as the lines are full. There we go. Okay. Now that's exactly why you got to pay attention, because it took 0.5 gallon of antifreeze at that point. So now I'm just going to hit this hot water valve faucet on the faucet So we have steady flow, continuous flow of antifreeze. See that? I'm going to do the same thing here. There you go. So now you see how much is in that gallon. Now I'm going to replace that gallon with the other gallon. Now I'm at the outside shower. I'm going to do the same thing here with the hot. Okay, we got antifreeze coming out already. Now I'm going to repeat with the cold all the way back in. So if you're not sure, and you can see that's pink, but if you're not sure, you can hit that on the side of your camper where it's white. That'll show up nice. Okay, I'm going to repeat on the cold side. Steady stream. Did the hot again for good measure. All right, cold side. Little air got in when I switched it, but that's good. Okay, this is pretty bright out here, but this is very important right here. So I got to take this apart. Hold on. All right, so sometimes this little piece is a little tough to get out. Today it's going to cooperate. You see that? All right, it's just a little screen. All right, but now if you can see inside there, and I'm not even sure if you can, hold on, can't see with the sun, but I'm not even sure if you could see it, but there's a little white tip there, and you're gonna depress that. There's a spring in there, and you're gonna see antifreeze shoot out. Just a quick touch. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure I can. Let me try it with something else. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna try this with my marker. See that? I'm gonna make sure that antifreeze comes out, and it did. So I can see that it's all pink. Now you also need to flush this. You can see that it's pink. And it's okay to leave a little bit in there. All right, so now I just need to put my panels back down. I just laid them down, put the screws in there. These things don't have to be tight. I just zing them. You just want the boards to be held. You could do it with a screwdriver, but I happen to have my drill present handy. That's it for that. We got one more important part. Okay, so this little snake thing here, you can see it's got a male garden hose end on there, and then it goes to this hand pump. Okay, nice. So what you're gonna do is this other, well, that one we just did was city water connection. This is your black tank flush connection. So we need to get some antifreeze inside here. Now you don't have to take this one apart, but you need to get, again, the sun. I'm trying to not get the glare and do this without cross threading here. I'll get it. Okay, here we go. I'll snug that a little when I put the camera down. All right, so I had to bring a chair over. So basically all I'm gonna do is put this end, snug this first. Doesn't have to be super tight. And I'm gonna put this end into the remaining gallon, which is about, I don't know, 1/3 full. Do this down low here, and all I'm going to do is draw this up. And you can see it's going right up in. I'm going to hold this up higher. So you want to make sure that you get some of this up in there. There's a one-way check valve in there, which is a rubber ball and a spring. And if you don't, like, this is the only way to really push the water out, and you know, you're pushing antifreeze in. And all this is doing is going right into the black tank. So we got more than enough in there. So now that I got the rest flushed, and well, not only flushed, but antifreeze put inside in the system, what I'm going to do here is I still have to raise the front of the camper to get it to a height to where the truck can get under there with the hitch. My driveway is sloped a little bit, so as I raise that, more water is going to drain out of this this heater. That's why I left this cap open for last. And then when we go to put this away, I'm only going to put that plug in there a couple threads. All right, because you have to fill this thing in the spring anyway. But if there's, I only put it on a couple threads. The reason being, if there's any residual water, it can weep past the threads before winter comes. Okay, that's a wrap. Let's get on to the next project. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Share the channel. Help me grow. Thanks a lot.